Hey guys, what's going on? CJ here for another video. So this is gonna be a ghost story time. With that, I found these stories off Reddit, and I hope you guys enjoy the video.
The truth.
By my grandparents. I was used to seeing impossible things, as I still believe to this day that my grandma was not from this world. Anyway, we entered the forest, everybody chose something on this app, and we began to feel that thing. We all agreed to try to feel a ghost or evil entity. My two friends began laughing after that, and we entered the forest more after we had a close location. It was about 200 meters away from us. As we walked, noises around us stopped. Even the crickets went silent. After we reached the location, they pulled up their flashlight. The forest is pitch black, even though it was a well-neared circulated road, and we began searching for something in the perimeter. After we discovered nothing, nausea hit me, and chills went down my spine. I've never felt so frightened in my life. After I saw that, which, a reminder, I'm about 100 kilograms, there was a woman dressed in a gray dress, like with a wooden stick in her right hand. She was bent forward like a question mark, and she was talking gibberish. She was wearing a scarf on her head. We call that a batik here. My two friends made a run for it, but I was too terrified to move. She got her head up, and I never saw anything more horrifying my whole entire life. It made all the horror movies I saw seem like little girl makeup videos. Her face was cold, like pitch black with two white eyes. I could see that because I had my phone flash on. The hair was embalmed with some brown liquid, and she smelled rotten. She started coming slowly but surely after me. I ran for my life. Nobody could have saved me from that. After I got out of my car, I drove home. When I reached home, my grandma called me and asked if I was okay. I just said yes. I did not realize it at the time. She already knew. I think I am still shocked to this day. In my tradition, we call it Mama Paduri, the mother of the forest, and you never want to encounter her. If you thought your country traditions were messed up, believe me, you've never lived here. I hope you guys liked that, but time for the main story part. About the scary, spooky stairs in the woods. My sophomore year of high school, my best friend and I had driven up the mountains to a party, and were driving back to my house at midnight/1 a.m. My car was on E, and I was so nervous we would run out of gas. I coasted all the way down the mountain. We all got onto the highway that would take us home, and started driving. It was dark out there. Were very few street lights, and there was a stretch of highway, and no other cars were out. The highway ran parallel to a railroad track. We drove for a bit, listening to music and chatting. At some point, we recognized how dark it was in the absence of other cars. I flipped on my high beams. The light illuminated the streets in front of us, and my friend said something like, "Holy crap, what is all that?" The street was just stained red, as if someone splattered gallons and gallons of tomato red sauce all over it. It was about 100 to 200 meter radius. Then my friend said something like, "Holy crap, man, look at all of that." A few meters ahead was us dotting the red-stained ground. We saw whitish-gray chunks, some the size of canned foods, other size of human torsos, dozens of them thrown across the lane. I had to slow down and drive around some pieces. My friend and I were both freaking out at this point, wondering what the heck we were seeing and driving through. After the chunks, the red stains quickly faded and felt relieved. We rationalized it was probably a deer carcass. It was really common for deer to cross that street. Perhaps a deer had been hit by one car and then fell dead in the lane. Then other car, perhaps a semi, also common in that area, in the dark of night, had come and ran over the body with all 18 wheels, dragging it up and tearing it up into pieces. Or maybe a semi just hit a deer and was the outcome. Either way, that made some sense to us. We got back home without further issues, and I remember getting out to check my tires to see if there's any blood or any bone fragments stuck in the trim. Everything looked fine. My friend went to his car and headed home. I went to bed. The next morning, I went upstairs for breakfast. My mom asked if I had heard anything about the car accident. I said I had not, and asked her to explain. Apparently the same night, a group of 3 or 4 teenagers from school had been driving to the train tracks along the highway, and somehow got stuck on there. The police thought they might have been drunk because they stayed in the car even when the high-speed freight train appeared in the distance. The train apparently hit the car so hard that some of the kids, or parts of them, were thrown several meters away. The car was pushed along the tracks for some distance, and there were no survivors. I remember the hair on my arms and neck standing on the end as my mom told me, and I asked her, not really sure if I wanted to know what time this all happened, and she said sometime around midnight. She added that it's not reported to the police for several hours. After I remember feeling sick to my stomach, think I had potentially driven through the bloody remains of those kids from the school. I of course called and told my friends, Misery Loves Company. We both thought it was just too coincidental for those two things to happen, just meters apart, and not be in actuality one and the same.
Watching here. Turret out.
The truth.
Okay, here's just a little extra part of the video. So I have been posting a lot of shorts. I'm probably going to keep posting a lot of shorts. They aren't going to be scheduled. I'm just going to consistently post a lot and have like 5 maybe or less. Probably at least 1 a day to maybe 2, depending on how I'm doing and how I'm playing. And then I'm going to try to make my content a lot better by taking more time and working on it, and also adding a lot more images and just stuff like that to the video, and just overall quality. And with that, I hope you guys had a great day. It's just a lecture part, and yeah.